tower, so you don't have to buy anything extra. There's nothing to figure out how to connect it up and make it work. Just work.
Okay. Yeah, I think probably simpler would be, well, simple is a relative term, I know,
Right,
but
sure. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
What kind of residence are you in? Are you in an apartment or a house?
I'm in a house. I've got, I don't know how big it is, 3/10 of an acre, something like that. I'm in Chaffee Park, Denver.
Okay.
Yeah. So like the power lines come straight to like sort of the middle of the house in the backyard.
Your power lines?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any covenant restrictions or anything?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I don't think anybody would report me anyway. But,
Get that 500-foot tower going.
yeah.
right.
Well, unlike the rest of these guys that are on the web tonight, I'm a cheap ham, an old cheap ham. I have an FT 991
Mm-hmm.
only because it does VHF and UHF, so I can get
Yeah.
on the sending net, and the learning net, with that. And I have a simple G5RV junior antenna that's strung in the backyard.
But that's a great antenna.
And now that you've got HF privileges, I've made contacts with all 50 states
Mm-hmm.
on several bands. And are you familiar with Parks on the Air?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I always say, if you go to the POTA.app site, you can see the frequency, you can see the call sign, and you can see where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all voice, for the most part, it's voice.
Yeah.
So you can get an ear for the call signs.
Mm-hmm.
You know where you're talking to, and if they come back with you, then you're good there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the other hams that at field day turned me on to FT8.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's sitting at a keyboard with a mouse click, and you're making contacts with mouse clicks, so you don't have that human contact, with voice to voice.
Yeah.
But currently,
I'll tell you, it does get old rather quickly. I mean, they're
Digital.
Yeah, well, here's my problem. I've contacted everybody that I can talk to over the last 2 years. I now get on and I don't see any new contacts. I see a lot of traffic, but they're all the people I've already talked to. So at that point, you're like, okay, I ran this to the ground, but at least now I know what my propagation is. And now you're talking, getting on. POTA is a great place to get on. Any of the state's QSO parties, any of those, those are great to get on and see if you can contact them and that kind of thing. So
Okay.
if you're a chatty Cathy and you like to talk, I mean, there's no reason why you can't just get on the radio and start talking.
That's true.
Do you guys hear my air conditioner running?
Barely.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
It just kicked on and it seems a little loud to me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to look at FT8, make sure you get grid tracker too, because that helps. You can see the propagation map, and you can also see call signs coming across.
Okay.
That made a world of difference too, as opposed to just running, FJST or WSJT, and you just click the button, where you transmit, and somebody comes back to you, in a color on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, it all depends on your budget, and your situation, what you're interested in doing, but it's certainly a great hobby to get into.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I'll start looking at that and probably piecing something together here over the next couple weeks. Yeah. One thing I do worry about with interference is I'm really close to a giant AT&T tower. I don't know if you've been up here in maybe 4 blocks away, but it's massive.
Really?
So we'll see what that does. It interferes with my Verizon.
Yeah, I was going to say it would. But that's a lot higher frequency than you're going to be in. So you'll probably be just fine.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll pull the lightning off you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. The lightning attractor.
So my big thing was boat anchors. I had a complete helicopters station before I moved into a condo, and Really enjoyed working HF and playing with wires and boat anchors. Now all the stuff that I used to have, I'd have to recap at this point. But it was a lot of fun. The warm glow of a radio that weighs more than you do.
I'm still running my Heathkit linear amplifier. I have to turn it on, and it warms up the place, and nice glow going on.
That was my first radio. It was a Star Roamer. Star
cool.
Roamer.
Nice.
I'm gonna go off camera just because I've got some chicken in the oven, but I'm still here. Yeah, I do wish Heathkit was still a thing. My dad laments that quite a lot because he and my grandpa used to build like TVs and radios and things like that all the time.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, my dad and I built a lot of stuff, tube testers and auto analyzers and all kinds of stuff. He was great because we'd always get a new piece of electronics, and first thing we'd do is pull the cover off and figure out what makes it tick. Drove my mom crazy.
So long as you got all the parts back together in the right place and it worked when you're done, that's all that counts, right?
That's right.
There's an extra screw.
Unless it's a home appliance like a washer or dryer, and you'll never get all the parts back in it. And that's the thing. Today we can take pictures of stuff, you know. Back then, you were just winging it.
And if you run into problems, there's the internet and YouTube videos.
Yeah. We used to make trips down to the Denver Public Library and print microfilm stuff from manuals and all kinds of things. Daron had something going on. He was going to be a little late getting in here.
I'm in here now. How's it going, guys?
Hey, Drone.
Yeah, I just had to finish up some work. Just took a little bit longer than I was expecting.
So it's interesting how this story about the exploding radio equipment has evolved.
Yeah.
First it was
It's,
pagers, then it was...
I
Now
can't
radio.
tell you how many hours I spent with our emergency management team today, talking them off the ledge.
It's like, don't page me.
You still use pagers down there?
We no. So, but today they talked about 2A radios blowing up today, and solar panels, solar systems were another target today. There's all this crap going on, and they're saying, okay, they're just.
It's inherently bad. No, it's not inherently.
They're taking
like
all
that.
technology now.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, everything's gonna blow up.
Right.
And their question is are we protected? And I don't even know how to answer that question.
Exactly.
Slapping the shit out of somebody.
It was like
What I can tell is a
Y2K.
supply chain. Yeah.
Oh man.
Aren't your risks more with the infrastructure than you are with electronics?
Mine?
Yeah, I mean, you work for an infrastructure, a critical
Well, so
infrastructure.
that's what they're worried about. They're saying they're not worried about hurting anybody because I made that point about halfway through the day. Is like you guys are talking about things that are going to destroy the infrastructure when what's causing the problem today is people are blowing up their hands or they're blowing their faces off and stuff. You guys don't even talk about that. You're not worried about that. You're worried about the dam getting blown up or something. Like, no, this isn't going to happen. Sorry, guys.
There was the Stuxnet back in the day with the Iran program of
Right.
Centrifuges. and all that
SCADA.
stuff.
Yeah. So who knows with infrastructure, but yeah. That's been a very interesting story for sure. I've been avoiding that whole thing for about a year now, so bringing it up. So.
And with Elon Musk declaring war on Brazil,
Yeah.
I guess they figured out a workaround to use Cloudflare.
There you go. Use Cloudflare.
Yeah.
That's what I got invited to this meeting. And I saw the title and I was like, this has got to be a joke. Someone's just playing a joke. So I didn't go. Then I got a call from my director or my chief saying, hey, you got to be in this meeting. And I was like, oh, I thought this was a joke. And we sat there from 11 o'clock till about 3 talking about this stuff.
Wow.
Jeez.
It's ridiculous.
Were you inside a skiff so your patient would
No.
blow up?
Oh, no. We're just sitting in the conference room. And, all the different chiefs from all the different areas. We got board members calling in, and everyone's freaking out over this thing.
Well, now you have a reason for not turning in your project in on time because this wasted half of the day for you.
Yeah, I wish that was something that was an excuse, but they can waste all my time and they still have to get it done on time. All right, that damn fly.
Yeah, we sold our business prior to Y2K, and we ended up being owned by a subsidiary of Duquesne Light down in Houston. And when, Y2K occurred, they were calling here, talking to my wife, like, what preparations has Jeff made, for all the pumping stations and everything? It's like, nothing.
I own my own company. I started in '94, and it was a telecom networking computer company. I built computers. It was right when Gateway was around, in the 80s or late 80s, early 90s. And I started in my garage, and by the time I got to like 1998-ish, I had I was printing money. I mean, it's basically just I could not sell the stuff fast enough, and I was using every ounce of capital to buy more stuff so I could sell it. It just exploded into this huge business, and until 2000. Right, but after it happened, then everyone kind of cooled off. My business slowed down, but fortunately, a long distance company. I know some of you may not know what a long distance company is. Well, you guys do. You're okay. Bought my company from me because they thought it was, look how great this thing. It blew up, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah. So Y2K was very good to me. I owe everything I have to
Y2K.
Just timing was right, is all it was.
Well, and we could have made a lot of money, but I just ethically couldn't do it. We could have people standing by it, all our facilities and everything, but we had already gone through the, all the necessary upgrades and testing and everything to prevent any situations happening. So we were confident. I spent the night up on Lookout Mountain for the sheriff's office guarding the radio towers.
My cousin in Nebraska decided to get married on Y2K New Year's Day. So that's where I was. I was in Nebraska.
And one of the reserve deputies that I was in the sheriff's office with me was a big mucky muck at Bureau of Reclamation. And he said, we've been working on this for years. All this crap about the power grid going down was just vendor hype.
So, Drone, what do you have for the Learning Net tonight?
Not a whole lot. I was thinking about bringing up what Jeff had brought up. I'm glad you brought that up because it's definitely within our world a little bit. So we'll see what comes out of that. What else? Yeah, I didn't have much else. Or I was just finishing up some work, some late work. So let me see if I have some things. ARL finally confirmed a while back, a couple of weeks ago, that they did get hacked and they paid a ransom. So
that's nice of them.
Yeah. What else?
Well, it's interesting. They went down 2 days ago again.
Oh, really?
For a brief period of time. Either that or they were doing a network upgrade, and took the stuff offline.
Yeah, I guess I just don't understand why they would pay a ransom. What is it that they hadn't backed up that was so necessary, because I guess the logbook on the air was fully backed up. There wasn't an issue there after it came back up.
Let's see what the latest was on that. Let me see if I can share this here.
Is it Hunter or is it Jay?
I go by Josh.
Josh.
I think we were. I'm the person who was emailing with Alex about the ARDC grant.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you looked familiar.
Very cool.
Yeah, I was at the what was that
Saturday,
event?
PRC
The
Saturday.
QSO. Yeah, yeah. Although I'm wearing glasses right now. But.
Hey, Jerome, can I show Grid Tracker to Josh?
Please.
Finally.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll show you what it looks like. I know you were
Okay.
talking about it and didn't. I don't know if it. Window. There it is. Share. This. All right. So there. This is it. This is what it looks like. Can you see that?
Okay. Yeah.
So each one of these squares is a contact that I've made. And what happens is there's another window. I don't have it connected right now, but it'll pop up and show me all the traffic and all the users that that are calling out. And I can just click on one of them and I make a contact with them.
Okay.
And then under the white, what is it? What is it? WTS? What is it? The
WSJTX.
That's it. WSJTF. That's where you control which band you're on and what frequency you're on, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But it's a pretty cool little tool. It's a dynamic tool, and it'll show, like, if you're talking to someone or whoever is talking to each other, it'll show the connections. These little arches will come across here and show that these two people are talking to each other. So that's kind of cool.
Okay.
And then it also will show in these squares. I have it on grid square form, so I'm trying to get all the grid squares, and it'll show which ones are calling CQ and which ones are in conversation. That's this little key down here, the colors.
Hey, Ken, I'll bring that up here in a second.
It also has weather overlay on top of it, all kinds of cool stuff.
So Mark, do you ever use the call roster, the one next to the green key on the grid? Up to the right there. Do you ever use that one?
Yes.
Because that one will tell you who's calling CQ.
That's what I was saying. This window is what it'll say who's calling CQ and where they're at. And I have it preferred as like the highest dB, so they're the loudest first. So I have it sorted by that. And I have it set to just show me ones that I have not talked to.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all the different options. I have it set for grid squares, POTA, and then only new, right here, new, unconfirmed. So if I've already talked to them, it doesn't show up here at all. So,
Okay.
So it's a pretty cool. It's a tool that you use right with the regular FT8 software, but I was running just the regular FT8 software by itself, trying to grab conversations, pain in the butt, until I got that. Oh, I got a fly. Hey, I got it. All right, sorry guys.
And with Ken in the YouTube chat, KD0CGF asking, when working FT8 on a portable HF radio out of state, how would you register so the radio shows your accurate location?
Oh, that's such a good question. You have to change your grid square and your location, and it depends really how you're logging. So if you're going to be logging with a Logbook of the World or with QRZ, however they want you to set it up is how you set it up in WSJT. So, for example, in QRZ, they want you to have a slant P next to it for portable with your regular call sign, but your grid square has to be where you're at. So if you're out of state, your grid square has to be that grid square. That's QRZ. That's what I sent all mine to. I know that, and within QRZ, you have to have a separate log associated with that. It's a different, you can't throw it in your big logbook. Then the other one with Logbook of the World, I can't remember. There's something similar to it, but I can't remember exactly what their syntax is. But they have a laid out of, if you are using FT8, this is how they would like you to log it.
Also in Logbook of the World, you got to go into your TQSL and change and create a new location, which is really a pain in the butt for POTA, you know, because you got to say, well, I'm in US 4567, you know, Nebraska or wherever, so that it doesn't log it to my home QTH, and it's giving everybody credit for the county and the state that I'm in when I'm doing POTA activations.
Right, and that's it's the same thing with QRZ, but it's not as difficult as Logbook of the World. Logbook of the World, like Kevin's saying, is extremely difficult. Well, at least I found it difficult and confusing. So that's one of the reasons why I switched to QRZ, because it's a lot easier. I hope that helps.
Yeah, I'll let you know if they ask anything else. Yeah, let us know, Ken, if you have any other questions.
Then for Josh, also make sure you get a good logging software, you know. There's several out there. I've switched a couple times. If you do Logbook of the World, they have a rudimentary one that you can use to get started. But then I've finally migrated to N3FJP, which keeps track of all your calls, any potential awards or states that you're looking for, countries, you know, so it helps to start off, you know, with a good logbook early when you're starting to do HF work.
Yeah, every time you all mention something, I'm opening another tab and typing it in.
And also remember that if you decide on like Logbook of the World or some other independent logging software like Kevin's talking about, or you're using QRZ, QRZ and Logbook of the World, they talk to each other. You can configure them to update each other. So there are some people you're going to make contacts with that just doesn't use QRZ, and some that don't use Logbook of the World. So if you should set up an account on each one of them and just link the two together. So then it automatically transfers back and forth to each one of those. It makes it a lot easier, especially you get more contacts, let's put it that way. Verified contacts, I'd say.
Thank you. I just opened another tab.
Kevin reminded TQSL reminded me of TSQL, Tone SQL. We found out recently, if you hear our 14549 repeater, the ident gets cut off. It'll say W0TX repeater normally, but if someone has this TSQL setting, which is basically tone, receive squelch and transmit squelch, I believe. So just as an FYI, if anybody has getting that cut off, just make sure you're using regular tone.
Ron, I'll show this real quick.
Yeah.
If you have time. Oh.
Please.
You're seeing this. It's screen's taking too long. Something has gone wrong. Oh, thank you. There we go. So this is a QRZ. I'll show you what it looks like real quick. If you haven't been there. Probably have. This is mine. So these are all my contacts. You can see I haven't done it in a while. I've been a little busy. Yeah. But anyway, this is what the main contact page looks like. But over under settings, there's this API that they give you. It's your own key, and you make it. It's really easy to integrate Logbook of the World with QRZ and back and forth. You can also, if I just hit refresh, yeah, I can force a import and export. So I can, let's say, export everything to Logbook of the World. It's not going to find anything. Yeah, see, it's in. everything has been done. It looks good. You're good. So now they're synced together. That's how I verify that they're synced together. So that's Logarithm World. Or sorry, that's QRZ.
Nice. Can you do any of that with the free version of that, or is it paid?
The linking has to be the paid version.
Right.
You
Okay.
can't do it with the free version.
Yeah.
And I believe with the free version you can't do the multiple with in different states and that kind of stuff. I don't believe you can do that either.
Oh, okay.
But it's not that much money.
Yeah.
Which level do you have to be at to get that? Because it's not just the data, is it? Is it a different one?
Just the first level, yeah, whatever that is.
Okay.
I'm cheap, but I won't pay for all of it.
Thank you.
I was going to see which one I had. I think it would say it. Probably have to go to my. Yeah, here it is. Okay, I'll show
Yours
you.
is just saying the XML data
Yeah.
on your public page.
Oh, we went and looked at it? All right, so you already seen it. Yeah, this is my public page. Well, I got to update my photo. That's a young guy. So here's all the awards that you can accumulate as well. They automatically, well, they don't automatically. You have to apply for them, but that's the awards. Yeah, here it is. QRZ data, the XML data subscription. It's an annual thing. I don't think it's much. What is it? I think it's like $30 or something like that. Oops. I'll
35.95 a year.
Yeah, that's it. I'll show you another thing since we're not doing anything and there's not very many people here. Allow me. This is something I did, and you've probably seen this. Oh, that's kind of cool. I hit the wrong button. I created this QRZ.N0XRX radio. So I have a domain called N0XRX.radio. And that's a link to my QRZ page. But if you just do N0XRX.radio, I don't know what's going to happen. The world's going to blow up. Page not found. There you go. But I had, it's a domain you can get. It's out of Europe. It's a .radio domain. If you haven't seen those, it's kind of cool to have a .radio domain. Maybe not. You have to pay for it in pounds. All I know. So you have to do a conversion to get it.
Trying to bring anything up here, but yeah, we have another 20 minutes if anybody has anything. I didn't have much to bring, unfortunately. Certainly maybe videos.
And I'm really just drinking from a fire hose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah. I remember those days. Those were the fun days. Everything was new. Everything's exciting.
I've got my handbook and the antenna book, so I'm just gonna start reading.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you have a pile of radios, pile of antennas. Are you married? Okay. That'll slow you down.
Yeah, she's aware to an extent.
Really?
Yeah.
Give her the book and have her study for the test.
Yeah, there you go. I tried that. It didn't work.
Yeah, I don't think that'll fly. It's not her
Yeah.
speed at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just gotta have your wife get into it,
Yeah.
That's it.
which mine got me into it. So
That's
Yeah.
right. You're very lucky. Yes.
I agree. I am.
Yes, you are.
I'll tell her you said that.
Please do.
She'll be here in a little bit. So
So my wife is a code tech, and she works so hard to take all the classes and pass her code test, and
Really?
she waits for her call sign to come, and her call sign is Kilo Bravo Zero Frank Uniform Uniform. KB0 FUU.
Yeah, right. A double FU.
So she quickly got it changed.
I don't know. Unique.
I don't know. When I spell my name, the last name is Sabansky. I always start it with SOBANSKI.
Hey, my last name is every other letter spells, like a fecal material. So
It's good to
Fun
be
with
organic.
names. Oops, sorry. Go ahead, Jeff. I cut you off there.
I just said it's good to be organic
Mhm.
to Kevin's comment.
Let's see, I can bring up a story. It's made the rounds. Probably seen it before, but using a software-defined radio to eavesdrop on HDMI cables was pretty interesting. Where did I put the meeting window here?
Just to pick up emissions or what?
What frequency?
Tempest SDR. White paper here. Some deep dive stuff. Doesn't look like they have some basic information given on here. But this has been brought up in the past. Several years ago.
Oh, yeah.
What do they have on here? Lack of some of the technical information, maybe, but they're saying 363.199 somehow, or
363. Interesting.
yeah, not too sure. So, yeah, I should have looked this up before. I thought there was more information on this, but pretty interesting stuff. Let's see if I thought I had another article on that. No, yeah, sorry, but pretty interesting stuff though. Eavesdropping on HDMI using a software-defined radio. What does the actual paper say here? Let's see, hertz. Yeah, looks like it's pretty heady, so I can see why they didn't maybe have a good idea of what to pull out from this here. But this was from 2024. Looks like here submitted. So. Yeah, not too much more on that. Yeah, anyone else? Let us know. Sorry, just make sure I can. You guys can hear me still, right? Perfect. Okay. What else? I'll just play a couple quick videos here, I guess. South Metro Fire Rescue encompasses a lot of agencies, and their PIO team is pretty on point. So South Metro Fire Rescue on YouTube. They have a little video here of what support they provided for a recent golf tournament here. Let me see if I can play this.
Today is we're going to be on Ops 11, and everything's coming from a dispatch center that's here. The white carts that are over there will be your guys' carts, and it'll be carts 1 through 4. The goal of this is to keep everything internal. If we can handle it internal and take care of it that way, then we'll leave it at that. There are 2 medical tents that are here that are staffed by Advent Health. If we need to move people into their place so that they can at least rehydrate, be in some cool weather or be a place where somebody can come pick them up, then we'll do that. If it's an emergent thing that's on the course, we'll obviously take care of it the way that we normally do. If it's something, the goal is if something's on the course and we can extract them out, we'll have a couple extraction points where we can bring a medic in. We'll take care of it that way. So trying to make as little impact on that as possible.
Doing our more daily normal check, just like we would if we were on the engine or the medic for that day. So just making sure pediatric kit, trauma kit, airway bags, and Zols are all ready in case there were an emergency to happen today. So treating it just like a normal day.
For South Metro and for Douglas County, it's huge to have an event this size come here and highlight how beautiful our area is, how beautiful the neighborhood is, and just what we bring as Colorado. So there's 4 zones, and each zone covers 4 to 5 holes depending on which zone you're in. So cart 1 will be in zone 1, cart 2 zone 2, so respectively. If it's in what dispatch,
Just a few minutes on that. We can keep watching that if you guys want, but yeah, check them out.
We'll call it in. Let's see. But then that zone, I would like to handle that call. So if it's close and you can help out, great. If it's something that sounds severe and needs some manpower, I'm okay with that as well. Treat this like you would any other patients. Each day I'll have 6 carts that are on the course, and they have their specific zones or holes that they will be following. And then each cart is fully ALS capable, has all of the medical equipment, same as the back of a medic unit does. It'll just be easier to navigate, easier to get access to people. And then we can take care of anything from somebody fell and scraped their knee all the way up to a worst case scenario of somebody having some heart problems or something going on like that. So we're able to get them immediate help, immediate care, and then we'll find ways to transfer them out and get them the best help that they can to a local hospital. We have paramedics on each cart along with firefighters who are trained EMTs. And so great medical group, great backgrounds to be able to help out everybody this week. So this is one of the larger events that we've ever dealt with. We've had PGAs in the past, but it's been a long time, and so it's awesome to have them back. For us, we'll have roughly on the big days 20 person make this happen.
South Metro Emergency Communications is out representing the BMW Championship. What that entails is we have dispatchers assigned to the command post. We've set up a backup dispatch center to take care of all of the units that are down here and any type of medicals or any incidents within the golf course. What we've done is we've set up tools that we already have in place for backup scenarios. So we're using equipment that we already have for emergency scenarios, but this also works for special events. So we're bringing the same technology that we have in our communication center into this conference room that we're working hand in hand with our partners with Douglas County. They've also set up dispatchers here. So we're sitting right next to the county dispatchers. We're working hand in hand to take care of things. So the technology is really important. By bringing everything that they're used to having in the communication center here, the workflow, everything they do is normal, and they still have a instant communication with the dispatchers back. So we're having conversations with them over the radio, phone, everything that we've set up today. It's on obviously a very different scale, but it's everything that they're used to working with.
Kind of make it an event within the city, basically meaning that we would like to be self-sufficient in here to take care of everything that we need to. Even
separate communication center to handle this incident. So the rest of our district is covered by our normally staffed communications center. So all 911 calls are still being answered as normal, but by providing additional staff to this, we're able to cover a large influx of people without impacting the district.
To be prepared.
All right, we'll probably just end it there, but yeah, thanks for watching that. Just a few minutes of South Metro fire response. Pretty cool stuff there.
And Daron, I just dropped a link in. This is a resource that has been worth its weight in gold this summer. I can't tell you how many times it's been deployed now, but what a great asset for
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
front range.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they've flown in some of those other belly airplanes that dip on dip lakes and things like that. But yeah, it's good that we have our own resources for water collection and fire management. Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, I think this was used at the Denver Roxborough fire, wasn't it, Mark?
Wow. Okay. Jeez. great resources out there that we have within our community. So a lot of great volunteer opportunities and lots of stuff that we can help to do. Very cool. Oh, we have 8 minutes. And Riley got in here earlier and got his stuff shared just fine.
And Jerry, do you want to handle the election items right at the front?
If I get my mic on. Yeah, I guess so. If you want to do it, step up, do it. You got the computer there, but
I'm losing my voice.
Hopefully we'll get through this quickly and get on to our program. Anyway, interesting stuff you got there. Somebody was mentioning earlier about the 4.9 repeater. What was that? I was just
I think we heard this a year or two ago, but the ident gets cut off. Some people don't hear W0TX repeater, the full ident, and it's because they're using tone squelch on their radio instead of standard tone. So the ident is getting cut off for them.
Because the tone drops.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything. Pete was asking if there's anything we can do about that. It's just specific radios. They have to make sure they use the right setting. But
Robert Pickett's had the spare controller for a period of time, and last time I checked with him, he was going to get on it that weekend or something. That's been a little bit. So I don't know where he's at on that, but
yeah,
that's
I'd be
about the
afraid
only
if
way to fix it.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we could support both. I don't know if we fix it for some, it'll break it for everyone else. But I don't know.
Well, fortunately, we've got a spare controller, so it's not a particularly easy thing to. There's a lot to it when it's doing what it's doing, and also takes a little bit of takes some work on it to make it work right.
Sounds good. And we did get the verbiage removed for the 147 repeater. I believe everywhere that we had it for the one that we're not using anymore.
Yeah, the 147 East, it's been out of service for quite a period of time. Nobody's ever even asked me what happened to it, so I guess it wasn't very missed. So
was that the one that was doing polling? Polling?
No. Well, the West one did at one point in time, not the East.
What does that even do? Is that just puts people on one of the repeater or another or something? Or
well, it puts you're on the same transmitter, but you have multiple receivers. We had 4 receivers, and it was another one of those things where everybody was kind of excited about it. And once it got working, it just kind of poop. Nobody was really using it. And so there again, we just kind of just discontinued it. Kind of the same with the 147.33 East repeater. It had a different tone on it, and it had good coverage way up west, and that was the whole idea, to cover up in the foothills. But there again, like I say, nobody missed it, and it's a long way out there. And last board meeting, we just decided that, just to recover the equipment and not do it anymore. So
gotcha.
That's what happened.
Well, welcome to everyone. Usual suspects. Appreciate everyone. Some new folks here. Really do appreciate that. We have a few more minutes if anybody has anything. This is a general Q&A, and then we'll have our club elections, and we'll have our meeting.
I talked to Orland, by the way. He was eating dinner in, where was it? Kearney, Nebraska. So He won't be here.
Okay. Is he going to join online?
I don't think so. I don't know what they're doing. Obviously
Yeah.
traveling, but no, I don't think so. I don't believe so. Anyway, we've got a couple minutes. We'll try to start right on time so we can get on with Riley's program. I can't think of anything else. If anybody's got any questions club-wise. Kathy's not doing the membership as of a week or so ago. And Kelly Sabansky took it over. And it looks like she's really digging into it. So that's a good thing. Kathy's here to support her for as long as she needs any help with it. But looks like she's jumped right in there and going great guns. So
I hope
that's
Kathy
good.
knows how much we appreciate all she's done for the club.
I'll forward that on to her. That's probably the hardest job in the club. I mean, the membership is I saw Mark nod his head, and he's done some of it. It's probably the biggest and hardest job because it don't ever go away. It's there.
And there she is. Yay! The hardest working person.
Yeah, there you go.
We haven't told her how bad it is yet. So.
Yeah. We're just thanking you for jumping in there with the membership, and I was just telling them just a little bit about that it's a big job, probably the hardest job in the club. So we do appreciate you taking it on, and like I said, Kathy's available to help you if you need it. But it looks like you really hit the ground running, so looks like you're doing a great job.
Awesome. It just involves talking to people. I'm good at talking to people. The technical stuff on the website kind of gets ahead of me, but I've got some good help there. So
You and me both. So yeah, that's great. Thank you. I hear my clock chiming in there, so I think my watch is about a minute slow. So we'll go ahead and get started. Like this is our